In this video, I will introduce you to products covered by California Proposition 65. And perhaps a better question is, how do I know if CA Prop 65 covers my product? Let's look at the methodology. How did we create this list? And for context, if you're watching this on YouTube, I should also inform you that we have a list of product categories covered by CA Prop 65 published on compliancegate.com. But in any case, this guide or this video is based on products that are either directly or indirectly mentioned on P65 warning ca.gov. This can be, well, as in some cases, when they mention specific product categories, say motor vehicle parts, or what is far more common is that they mention substances, lead, formaldehyde, bisphenol A, etc. And that's also why it's a bit complicated to determine if CA Prop 65 applies to a certain product category, because you may not know you may not know which substances your product contains in the first place, unless you are a chemical engineer or you have a lot of experience in a certain industry. It can be difficult to know if BPA or lead, etc., is a high risk when it comes to your product. But in any case, what I want to get to here is that CA Prop 65 or California Prop 65 doesn't provide a definitive product list in its scope. It references substances, and as I said, it can be difficult. So we've done two things, just to reiterate here. We cover products that are either explicitly mentioned, which is not that many. More commonly, we look at substances and we list categories or product types that these substances are more commonly found in. Okay, hope I made that clear. Okay, so let's look at the very first, as this food contact materials. Now, what they do on the website is to provide substances that may be present in FCM. And if you search, say, bisphenol A on the P65 warnings .ca.gov, you will see that they do mention that, say, bisphenol A is more, is more common in certain food contact materials, baby bottles, plastic FCM, and so on. But it doesn't stop with bisphenol A. Food contact materials may also contain lead and phthalates, which are also regulated under CA Prop 65, just to be clear. Okay, second category, textiles. CA Prop 65 restricts lead and other substances that can be found in apparel and home textiles. It also, the regulation also covers flame retardants such as PFOA, that's another one, and also formaldehyde. So there's a range of different substances to take into consideration here when it comes to California Prop 65 and textiles. Okay, 3, we have jewelry and accessories, especially metal jewelry. Can contain lead, cadmium, nickel, mercury, and other restricted heavy metals. And the P65 website also specifically mentions children's jewelry. I'm not sure, but there could be a difference in the limit or the migration limit or the transfer limit, I think they call it that, are allowed depending on the age group. But in any case, jewelry can contain substances that are restricted under California Proposition 65. Then we've got toys. Now, it's important to mention here that toys are also covered, regulated on a federal level under CPSIA and must comply with ASTM F963 and also the various CPSIA substance restrictions. But California Proposition 65 covers materials used to make toys, and this includes plastics that may contain phthalates. I'm not sure, but it may be the case that California Prop 65 is more restrictive, that it sets lower limits for phthalates, or maybe it covers a longer list of phthalates. I'm not sure, but it's covered anyway. And another risk factor when it comes to toys and California Proposition 65 is that of paints and coatings that could contain lead and other restricted substances. Okay, then we've got furniture. California Proposition 65 covers formaldehyde. And formaldehyde It can be formaldehyde traces as a result of fumigation process when the material, from certain gases and so on, is used to kill pests, insects, etc., fungi, and as mentioned, textiles and other materials that are used now. This could be cover fabrics, could be metal parts, may also contain substances that are restricted under California Proposition 65. Then we have electronics. Again, really comes back to heavy metals and phthalates in this case, and also flame retardants such as PBDE. It's a different one. This one also mentions electronics. Finally, we have cosmetics, and again, this is based on what we have done to create this video is to look at the PEEP 65 warnings website, search substances, and see which product types and categories that they mention as, okay, this may contain this substance. And again, they also mention cosmetics, specifically for lead and also for mercury. So they provide examples like hair dyes, nail polish, skin creams, and so on. Just want to make it very clear that this is not a definitive list. This is not an exhaustive list. This is based on examples provided on the p65warnings.ca.gov website. And it can be difficult to determine which substances your products may contain. If you've been working with manufacturing or in a certain industry, you may know well that plastics, especially soft plastics, may contain phthalates, and so on and so forth. But if not, then my recommendation is that don't try to make that assessment on your own. Reach out to a qualified testing company like UL, SGS, Kima, Intertech, and ask them to determine which substance tests under California Proposition 65 could be relevant or could apply to your product. And for them to do so, you need to provide them with a product list, images, a bill of materials, age group, and so on. Based on that, they can then determine that. And although that's not a guarantee, well, I would say it's a lot better than you trying to figure this out on your own. Right? Hope I didn't confuse you too much. In any case, if you have questions, you can write a comment on YouTube, or you can also go to our website, which is compliancegate.com.